everyone. Welcome to Creative York. This is our Hope and Healing, A Journey into Light exhibit, and this is our closing reception. Not something we typically do, so we did have an opening reception in the beginning of this exhibit, but just due to COVID, we thought we didn't know how many people will be coming out earlier on in this exhibit versus later, so I'm happy that you all have joined us this evening. We have two speakers today that I'd like to introduce. First, I'd like to introduce Arlette Morales. And Arlette is a recent graduate from Logos Academy. She received a scholarship from the Hispanic Coalition for her outstanding participation in community and academic performance. She's a powerful speaker on behalf of DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals recipients. She's a leader and role model in the community and in also the Latino community especially. She was born in Pueblo, Mexico, and arrived in the US when she was 2 years old. At 14 years old, she realized what it was meant to be an undocumented in the United States. Arlette quickly joined a local organization called CASA that fights for social justice. Through her advocacy with CASA, Arlette has become comfortable with herself and with sharing her story. She has learned to be proud of being an immigrant, love where she comes from, and learn to speak the truth, her truth. On June 2nd, 2020, Arlette organized Black Lives Matter protest with her best friend in downtown York that impacted many lives in our city. Arlette is ready to keep fighting the injustice that the undocumented immigrant faces, and she is ready to be an ally for other communities who continue to face injustice and inhumane policies. And I'm proud to introduce Arlette. Thank you.
A very long introduction, I'm so sorry. So like previously said, my name is Arlette Morales and I'm 18 years old and I just graduated from Logos Academy and I'm going to be an upcoming freshman at York College. So I'm a proud daughter of immigrants and I'm a proud and empowered undocumented woman, brown undocumented woman. We are here today because we acknowledge all of the division that our country has gone through, and especially in the past year, 2020. And we acknowledge the continuous trauma and constant battles that we have had to go through as a nation. And now we are calling for our community to continue to have hope and to continue and to be willing to heal. Many of us, like me, students, people in our community, were presented with the opportunity to be able to submit a piece at this gallery, and some of us took it. I took it, and I want to acknowledge all of those who did, all of those who were willing and vulnerable to share their feelings through painting. Thank you. This is the great first step, and I acknowledge it, and I'm glad we took this great first step. I feel a sense of unity in this room. We must continue to fight for a better future for all of us. For there are always light, if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. I heard. We must be that light. We must continue to fight for all of our brothers and sisters who are constantly walking in fear, who constantly get left and who are constantly forgotten. We, your city, should continue to model across to so many different cities of this nation that hope and healing is possible. And like I said, this is a great first step. So thank you to all the artists who painted their truth. Thank you to everyone who put this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlette. Next, I'd like to introduce Richard Craighead. He is the father of two sons, owner of Inclusive Arts Movement, an artist, the president of the York NAACP, and an active community member. Richard?
So, I appreciate Mindy for allowing me to talk, Creative York Board for allowing me to talk. So, the thing I was celebrating here, speaking about, is hope and healing. I have different views of hope and healing. So when we talk about hope, I'm always thinking of who doesn't have hope. And when I think about the Black and brown community, and I think of these young men that are out here and they're in your newspaper. It's because they don't have hope. We don't, as a community, as an entire community, do a good enough job at giving them hope, at doing enough to heal the wounds of their ancestors, of their mothers, of their fathers, of their family that we have embedded into their lives and into their minds and into their conscience for far too long, leaving us with what we see, again, in the newspaper, on the news, in the media, with the issues of gun violence, of violence in itself. This is a mental issue, and the healing of it needs to happen. We need to do a better job. So I was thinking about this. I wrote some stuff down. Bear with me if I'm a little off. It was scratched together. So, hope and healing. Amanda Gorman, poem titled "The Hill We Climb," gave hope for the future to many. If I can break down the title, "The Hill We Climb." We embark on a journey that has never been done before. When we embark on a journey that has never been done before, there's a certain few things that we deal with and we think about. We're careful where we step, what we touch. Our senses become heightened to something new. Another thing that we do is take inventory of either by writing things down that we encounter, drawing a map, taking photos. We not only do this for our own personal memory, but for those that may take their hill in the future. We want to give them a heads up on what they may come across and also let them know why they should climb said hill. Here's where the one specific word is paramount above all others: we, the hill we climb. For far too long, we have been us and them. The hill climbed has been paved for some and treacherous for others. The hill has been drawn in detail with step-by-step directions, photos, videos, tour guides, and real-life actions, while others have been told to tighten up their bootstraps and take the journey blindly. And even then, those at the top of the hill have thrown obstacles in the way, creating a steeper hill to climb. Hope, with everything that is thrown in the way of those who hope to climb the hill. Hope is the only thing that keeps them going. But hope can be fleeting at times. Hope can burn out like a candle. Hope can be trampled on by those who don't want you to climb the hill. But hope creates resilience. Hope brings creativity, ingenuity. Hope brings about alternative routes to reach the top. Hope brings about finding out the light in a never-ending shade. Healing. America has stabbed at us in lieu of stitches, placed band-aids time and time again to stop the bleeding. We had to heal ourselves far too many times. But wounds not properly tended to tend to open again. We have delayed democracy for all, creating hope for those who wish to end it in place and to keep them in place at the top of the hill. Wish to end it to keep those who speak up quiet, to continue the perception of peace. Wish to end it to make America great again. What is real hope and healing? Love becoming our legacy. The hill we climb becoming the equitable hill we as all Americans, black, white, gay, straight, dreamers, those in search of a better life, those in search of life, those whose lives haven't mattered, mattering, climb. Critical think of our entire historical accounts and understanding what we did wrong, and accepting it, apologizing for it, and learning from it, learning what to do, learning to include everyone. We are an unfinished nation. Let us not go back to the facade of America great. Let us create a greater America. We are the sum total of all our parts. We rise if we are brave enough to be the light. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Well said.
I'm a little nervous.
No, fantastic job. And Arlette, thank you so much, both of you. I appreciate it. And so happy that you guys have come out to hear them speak. It's awesome. So last, I want to introduce our Director of Education, Ivy Rogers. And she's going to tell us about some upcoming programs and classes at Career New York and maybe a few other things. Ivy?
Okay, yes. Hi, everybody. Thank you once again for coming out tonight. It's awesome to see people in the gallery. It's always exciting now that, COVID is a thing, and it's nice to have community again. I'm I'm just excited to kind of share a few things that are kind of happening. I'm still very hard at work on our fall schedule of classes and workshops and some like collaborative community programs that we have going on. We are planning on once again bringing back the York Fest Youth Art Exhibition, which is really, really exciting, which you can still sign up for. Any youth ages 3 to 17 in York, if you're interested in having your art displayed and shown and, you know, starting those conversations, talking about art with one another, you know, we can make that happen. At Market View Arts during York Fest, we've partnered with the Parliament and York College to offer some awards and prizes and some awesome fun like art activities. We're also doing an art activity in honor of the late Bob Miller, who was on our board here, as well as had a studio with Randy at Market View Arts. So we are really excited and happy to honor him in a way that can bring the community together, like a fun workshop art activity during the York Fest. So yeah, there's a lot that's kind of in the works and kind of still very much in the air, and you know, it has been a really busy summer so far, which is really exciting and fun. And if you know anyone has any questions for me about any upcoming programs or classes or things happening, you know, feel free to come up and talk to me. Mindy, what do you think? Or,
I'm just joining you.
Yeah,
Just
Mindy,
York
yes.
Fest will
Yes,
be held.
York Fest.
Our kickoff opening reception will be August 27th from 6 to 8 here. We do have the exhibit that will be hung earlier than that, but our kickoff's opening reception will be the 27th. And then York Fest will be the 20th and 29th.
Yes,
So
and then
it's-
on the 29th, on Sunday at 4 p.m. at Market View Arts, the youth art exhibition will be judged and juried, and we'll be announcing awards and prizes for all the awesome local young artists. So I hope, Arlette, love to see some of your work in the show. You're more than welcome. So, you know, if anyone has any questions or has anything for me, feel free to find me. But thank you guys so much
Yeah,
for
thank
coming
you.
out
Thank
and
you so
supporting
much.
Creative York.
Yes, thank you. Nice to see everybody tonight.